It's good.
This is embarrassing sometimes. Ready? Alright, welcome back after lunch. So, we talked about a lot of concepts, and I want you to believe that yes, you can do it no matter where you are, what your current financial situation, your current experience level, the credit, the background, the job situation, whatever it is, just believe that you can do it, because we all have been thinking about it. I was also thinking about it. We have been on the line. So that is the question that a lot of people have, whether can I do it, how can I do it, and all that. So if you believe in it, man is what he makes of himself, right? Whatever you think about will come alive when you believe in yourself. So I'm going to give you some exact steps to do. Some of them you might not have to do because there are smarter ways. Like I'll tell you how to find the properties, and we'll get into so many details about how you can find, what are different ways of doing it, what are the ways that people are doing it, the marketers are doing. You can do it, but there are better ways. But I have to still cover all those things. So we'll still go ahead and do it. And then we'll get into how to do it in smart. Did I cover everything? Yeah. We just talked about few things. There are ways to make it. There are smaller deals you can do, but you can do multiple of those, or you can make money faster with the bigger deals, absolute value. You'll have less stress if you're working with a team. You will enjoy the process if you know it. Eventually it will get really interesting. So let's get ready on actual things. So the three secrets, not secrets, but the three things that today I'm going to cover is how to find the deep discounted properties, both residential and commercial. Initial plan was to just do residential to start with, but then the techniques are so similar. Of course it is different, but I thought I'll just cover for both. So we'll do that, and then we'll also talk about how you can fund all your deals, how you can become money magnet, how you can have people come to you. Just like David, he came, he talked to you, and the funding companies will come and talk to you and say that we will fund you the deals. Sometimes when you have the relations, they'll also bring you the deals. Because a lot of times what happens is somebody who was going to have the loan backs out for whatever reason, and so now they have a deal, they know a deal, they have the funding ready for it, appraisal and all. So if you are in their circle, they will be able to give you the deals and the money. And how to do the property management thing, how to manage the property, what are the different ways of adding income, what are the different ways of reducing your expenses, how to add the value, how to increase the income. Basically, we talked about increasing the income gives you the addition in the value. So let's talk about that. There are different exit strategies. We covered some of those, but buy and holds, buy and flip, and things like that. So how to find deep discounted properties and how to analyze it. And as I said, we are here, we will also be working with you, so you're not all alone. One of the biggest these days especially is internet. Anybody who wants to sell the properties, earlier there were days, but nowadays they always put it on internet. Whether it is social media, whether it is broker's website, whether it is on the regular website, their own Facebook. If the owners don't do it, then they have their property managers do it. So property management companies' websites and things like that. You can build your own website. You can be a buyer. Now this is talking more about single family, but let's say you want to buy. All of you are probably looking to buy the properties because you know now that how you can get the funding, and you can increase the value of the property. So you're all individuals and you probably don't have websites, and maybe you can get one built, but there are companies or services like this investorpro.com, www.investorpro.com. If you go there, they have templates that are ready, that you just maybe, that they will charge you some fee for that, but that will give you your own name, and it will position you as the buyer. It will give you a lot of stuff. They'll also give you resources and things like that. So then if somebody is looking to sell, and if they Google, that way you can get the leads to your website and you can automate it. Now let me tell you a story about how I did it in my, I can even show you if you are okay with that. I'll show you my website, but again, you can see it for yourself later. There are different ways, there are different reasons why people are selling, and you can target those people. For example, one of the biggest things that I like this pre-foreclosure, right? If people are going in foreclosure, if they are behind on their taxes, so you can have one website that is targeting those people. So let's go one by one. Networking is the other way, where everybody should know that you are looking to buy. If you are networking, and you can ask for referrals, say, if you know somebody is looking to sell, and you can get it from the wholesalers, you can network with them also, different investors, different realtors. If you build relations with the realtors, they always do this marketing. As a realtor, whether it is Coldwell Banker, Remax, or whatever, they have their own ways of getting leads. So you can network with them. You can either do it yourself or you network with the realtors, and there is always 80-20 rule. 20% of the realtors will have 80% of the deals. The companies, there are only few good companies, they will have most of the deals. But if you talk with the realtors, then they will be able to give it before they even post it. This is more applicable for commercial properties, but also for single family. There are some realtors who work with the banks, who work with HUD and government agencies. So if they have any tax liens or all, they will, they work with the attorneys and all. There are different ways of getting the leads. So they do it, you build relations with them, and they will give you the leads. So, and then there are many properties that are available on MLS, Zillow, Trulia. You might know some basic websites. You can make offers. Even if they're asking $200,000, you make an offer for 120. Your first offer should be embarrassing for yourself. If he's asking 200, how do I offer 120? Man, what will they think? All that kind of stuff. He should be insulted. What? I'm asking 200, you're offering me 100,000, 120,000? He might just throw it away if he's experienced. But what do you have to lose anyways? You made your offer, you're not making it yourself, you can get it done from somebody. I'm talking about what people do. You don't have to do it, but I'm saying that's one way of doing it. Or you can be decent and say 160,000 for a $200,000 house, which is still 20% discount, which is at 80% of the market value. You can start somewhere. That's the way of taking action. Every listing is a deal at some value, at some price. So you can make a deal out of any listing or any of the available house or available property. LOI means letter of intent. In commercial properties, that is what you tell. Or you can even say that to a seller, that this is my offering, this is what I'm thinking of making an offer, but that can be one page. When you send an offer, it's almost 9 pages or even bigger for commercial, or you can even do it in 3 pages, depends on you. But you can send out a letter of intent showing what you have, what you do, and how you can close it in 2 weeks or whatever you want to make offers. I like that LOI because you can offer 3 different offers to any seller. But the point is, take action, make offers. Now there are programs, you can buy a software and give them a list of all the properties, and it will just calculate whatever is the asking price, it will just make it at 70% or 60%. You can just tell the software what to do. It will generate the offers and automatically email it to the agents, or previously it used to be fax, but it will be emailed to the agents. You are not even doing anything. Smart way of doing things. The software is available at some cost. So that's one way of making a lot of offers. You don't even care, right? You're not even thinking about it. And the seller gets a 70% of the market or asking price offer. He might consider, he might say, no, maybe 75, 80, or at least you get the conversation started. This is good. How do you buy? You can buy a list of things, like you can buy leads. So if you have a website and if you have a way of converting it, you can automate this process. So I was going to show you, but I'll just explain to you how it works. Yeah. So how can you automate? For example, you have your website. Then you can automate it in such a way that as soon as somebody comes to your website, it is your job to send the motivated sellers to your website, but there are ways of doing it. But let's say he comes to the website, he enters his information about the property and all, and it goes to a call center, or it goes to a service where people will take those phone calls, they will talk to those sellers, and they will negotiate for it. And there are many services available for that, and they are trained in it. They do it for you for a little bit of smaller fee. You can set it up for like $160 a month, $100 a month, depending on number of hours they work. Or if somebody calls your phone, your website or your number, it will again go to call center, and we will give them a list of things to ask. And I'll give you, if you're interested, we can go through that as well. But they will ask all the questions, they will take all the answers, and then they will email it to you. So you'll have all the information and you can make a decision on that. So there are smart ways of doing it. You can buy the list from We Buy Houses or Melissa Data. That's a company that provides these leads. And it can be leads about tax foreclosures, tax delinquencies, expired listings, divorce, probate, bankruptcy. These are the reasons why people are motivated to sell. For example, for whatever reason, if they have not paid the taxes, that means at least it shows that there is something wrong. Either the management is not right, or they are running short of money, or they might not be that responsible or whatever. So you can buy that list. And there are different ways of making money even with the taxes. You can just pay the taxes and get paid 16%, 14%, 15%, 18% by just investing in that amount of money. Just invest, pay the taxes for somebody else to the county, and the county will pay you the interest until they pay the taxes. That's one way of investing. But you can contact them, and direct mail works. What you do is just send out the postcard or some letter, and there are different forms of different examples that we have. And there are services who will send out the letter also for you. For how much? Like 5 cents, 3 cents, 7 cents per letter. So they'll give you the list, and they'll say, okay, do you want to send this to all these people? We'll do it for you with your name on it. So now you're not even doing anything. So for 7 cents, you can, for just $7, you can send 100 letters. And out of that, if you get 2, 3, 5, that's all you need, right? Maybe to start, we just need one maybe.
Yeah, I think including postage, 70 cents.
70 or?
70, including postage.
No?
Postage.
Oh, so including everything, the
Yeah.
material amount. Okay. 7 is for the list. Oh, sorry, the list probably is 7 cents or something like that. But it's cheap, it's like, even if it is 70.
The day you send out like 1,000 letters, you get one deal.
That's still
You made up for like maybe 2 years of your marketing on that.
So again, you don't have to do anything, but there are ways people do that, people write it, and then you can also have handwritten letters. That way whoever gets it, they feel that this is a genuine individual person and things like that. If you are going through, if people are going through a divorce, then there are many reasons that they might have to sell their property. I have stories where people are going through divorce, and they say that I'm selling my house and I'm selling my car for peanuts, literally, because whatever I got this joke on WhatsApp that there is a Mercedes for sale for $1,000 or maybe $100, and everybody's like, how can it be like that? And she says, yes, it is for sale for $100, Mercedes. And the guy asks her why, because she says, my husband died and in the probate it says, please sell this car and give all the proceeds to the secretary. So, so I'm just selling it for $100. And so the tagline was jealousy of the wife, zindagi ke baad bhi, or zindagi ke saath bhi and zindagi ke baad bhi, something like that. So point being, they are not interested in making money, especially if it is divorce. That was probate example, but divorce, let's say husband and wife are fighting with each other, and they are not agreeing on a house, on who should get the house. Then the court decides, you sell the house, and whatever comes in, you divide. Or wife gets it or husband gets it. If they do it that way, so that they avoid fighting, in that case, one of the spouse is not interested in selling it at high price. They sell it at low price. And the other might want to, but whatever it is, there is motivation. Sometimes the court says, we will divide it 50-50, but you have to sell it within a month or 2 months because we don't want. So all that. So there is a reason why they want to sell it quick. And some people only focus on divorce. Now, can you get a list of divorce? Yes, you can. So you find probate. Like a lot of people, especially with baby boomers, they leave their properties with their grandchildren and son who is in maybe Atlanta or New Jersey, and they find this house that they received from grandfather or somebody, and they are in New Jersey, house is in Houston, but if they take the house, they have to pay taxes on it. And let's say somebody died, they might not have paid taxes. Now he's saying, oh, I received a house, but I have to pay 10,000 to buy to own it. No, I don't want to pay. Just sell it and give me 100,000. I don't care, whatever it. And that house might be worth 250. So that probate list, if you get and you call that person saying, hey, you just inherited this property, would you take 100,000 for it? And he might be interested. Because
I have bought 3 probate houses then.
Yes. So Dheeraj has bought probate houses. And there is another reason why you should be talking to a lot of attorneys, because they deal with all of these tax delinquencies, liens, probate, divorce, and all. So having attorneys as your friend is always a plus thing. Always a plus and good thing. Bankruptcy, you can get a list of people who are filing bankruptcy. They might have properties or even their houses and things like that. So get all those lists. Go to the code enforcement list. As you know that if people are not taking care of their property, the grass might be all grown and all that, and they might have some kind of code that they are violating. It might be trash, it might be some, they might get some code, red tag. You can get list of all those, so now you know these properties are not well maintained and there is a motivation that the seller might have. But I love this, REOs. Talk to your bankers, talk to the bankers if you don't go there. This is one story, I heard, I learned this from one of the big shots. When you network with right people, he asked me this question and I'm going to ask you that. I'm sure I know the answer, but he says, have you ever gone to the bank with a dozen of donuts for the bank employees? I'm like, no, why will I take? I take the pen from them and I take something free, why will I give them something? And he says, that is what I do. I take coffees and donuts and all that for those people. So now they treat me so good. Next time I go there, it was amazing that after I heard that, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try. So I told you, right, that I have these smaller banks that I deal with now, and I started taking these donuts. One day I literally told, oh, it doesn't cost so much, let's take a dozen of donuts. And I took that to my branch, as he explained, I took it to my branch manager and I said, this is all for your employees. He just got out and he started explaining to her, Yogesh got these donuts for you all, and they were also happy. They all left their seats and came, and it was, I think, some Thursday or Friday afternoon, they were chilling out and they were really happy and made, all these Americans, they make so good comments and they make you feel so good, right? So it felt really so nice, and it was genuine happiness, and I felt, man, next time I'm going to take this again, right? And they give you good, in fact, of course, you get some good deals also, you build relations. There's a lot of value for just that simple investment. But you go to them and say, now, do you have any REO property? REO means real estate owned. It's a list of properties that are default, and they might have a commercial list of commercial properties, single family houses, notes that I was telling you about, and they'll open up with you, you know. They'll say, hey, we have this. Like my banker once told me that we have this restaurant with all the equipments for $20,000, just take it. You remember that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what will I do with it? And I didn't realize that just the value was $100,000 and I should have done it and all. But when something like that comes to you, all of a sudden, restaurant with the thing, you're not opening up, right? I don't know, houses, apartments, something. No restaurants. Even if it was 20 cents on a dollar just for that. So I gave up on it. I mean, I didn't do it. But later when I found out about these things, I realized that I should have. And that's why I'm trying to open your kind of CPU this year, right? Just like whatever you can think of. If you open up your horizon, if you open up your the other opportunities, if you know about the opportunities, if it comes, you're not passing them. You're not. Sometimes we are driving and we don't even see banks, or we only see few things. If you're looking for Starbucks, maybe you'll only look for Starbucks. You may not see any other stores, so things like that. So there might be opportunities. So REOs, you'll find a lot of those, and it's very easy to get those. Plus, the bank will finance it for you. I love those. Heard. These are government properties. Yes, question?
I actually wanted to ask you as part of your rehab process.
Yes.
But do we even go to such an extent that you actually alter the road system or anything to make sure its value goes down? Can we
Alter the road?
Code.
No, the road.
Code?
Oh, road?
Road
Yeah.
system.
Yeah, when you're in apartment or something, yes, you do that. If you have, it depends on the deal, of course, but yes. I bought that 72 unit apartment complex. It was 3 buildings, 24 each. One on this side, one on that side. There was a road going through it, and anyway, it doesn't matter. Two buildings on one side and one on the other side. So 3 buildings total. And there was a church on the other side, and the church wanted to use our parking lot or whatever. But my point was, there is a road that was going through, and one of the options that we were considering is close that road. We went to the city for permits, and they said, yeah, for $25,000 you can have this road, and you can name it whatever you want. So that was a good option. But yes, you can do that. You can close the roads, you can open roads, you have to take permits from them. But if you own that road, now the lights and the electricity that the city provides, now you have to take that cost also, which is not much, but they'll keep it for you, but you have to pay them.
As long as there is a price and if you see it's a good deal, then
Yes.
as good as you have an
So the advantage for us was, now we can make it a closed community with just one entrance, rather than anybody can just drive through our community, plus the traffic, it's not safe for the children and all that. We didn't do it. But good question. Considering that it is possible. You can open, you can make it, whatever. But there is cost associated. Take the permits. Auctions. If it is pre-foreclosure, you can buy it before the auction, but in auctions you can go and buy the properties cash. Bandit signs, you must have seen a lot of these signs.
Sorry, who can go to the auctions? Can anyone go to the auction?
Yes.
Or do you have to have a real estate license?
No. Investors go all the time and buy properties. For everything looks like I'm getting stories, huh? So I want to share this story. I used to be very proud of myself after these awards, and 30 houses and 40 houses, and I used to be like, man, I bought 16 houses and I have done this. And I was proud because I never dreamt about until then, and all of a sudden within 2 months 4 properties, within a year 10, 15 properties, and I used to be on cloud 9, right? I was sitting with one guy, he was very quiet, elderly gentleman, and we were listening to some seminar like this. He was sitting next to me, and he was talking about a few things. He was asking very good questions. I was looking at him like this, as if This guy is somebody, I need to talk to him. So I told him about me first. And this is what I do and all. So he said, very good, congratulations. And then he told me, yeah, I asked him, right? I want to ask him, what do you do? He said, I also buy some properties. I just bought 36 properties last week. I'm like, come again, what? 36 properties last week on Tuesday in auction. So of course, then I'm not paying attention there, I'm paying all attention here. He's telling me stories and I took him out for lunch and heard the whole story. That's another thing, take a millionaire to lunch. Pay for it. You offer to pay, he won't let you pay, but sometimes they do, but that is for 1-2 hours. They can sit with you for 2-3 hours if you take appointment and then listen to their stories. I was told that to do by my mentors, so I did that. Sir, can I have lunch with you, please? So of course he said yes, and we went, and I want to know how you buy 36 properties in a day. So he told me auctions, and I said, but still, how many can you buy? How can you buy 36? You don't look like you have so much money and all, right? I mean, he was wearing decent dress, but it didn't really look like person buying so much in auction. I sat with him and he started telling me, and then this was back in I think 2012-13. So the next thing I said, I have full-time job, but I can come on Saturday and Sunday, full day with you. Can I come and just learn from you? I want to see your properties. Just take me with you. I'll just ride with you. I'll drive you. Whatever it is, I want to spend full day with you. I'm like, you are my mentor. Please teach me. I'm just going after. And then he told me he buys it at 5 and 10,000 each. Because there is no competition. He just offers, I'll buy all that subdivision, whatever you have in that. And in those days, the properties were available like that. And we didn't know that because my thought process is at that time was limited. Whatever I was taught from that, my mentor, he said, do this, find this, all this is ways of doing it, but the way I did it was the first slide. Internet, whatever is there, tell everybody, make offers, get the list, and go do that, whatever, make phone calls, make offers. That's what I did, and talk with the brokers. But then, when you grow and meet some people, that's what they use these strategies. So let me complete that story now that it is there. So I went with him. He used to buy that for $5,000-$10,000, right? Not more than that. Whatever he can get. He doesn't even care what that house looks like. He just buys. And then he goes this. Then I went with him on Saturday, and he had his truck. He came with 2 guns. He loaded them in the back, and he put there. And there's one small gun that he kept, and one on the back. And I'm like, wow, why? Because the properties you never know, right? $10,000 plus it might be occupied and all that. So I'm like, okay, now I'm getting scared. Where are you taking me? So he says, no, don't worry about it. Just for the safety. And this is Texas, so it might be okay. So I went with him, and then he says he bought these, he bought that, and of course he bought it, and then he also contacted those people. So his strategy was different. He buys, let's say, for $5,000 or $10,000. He leases that property for $500 a month for whoever is living there. He will not even fix a broken door or broken window, nothing. Just, you want to stay, $500 a month, that's it. And they will be happy to stay there. But $500 a month is $6,000 a year. He bought it for $5,000 or $10,000. I'm like, man, this is amazing. But I don't want to do it. I may not be that comfortable. At that time, I said, okay, I learned it, that's good. Do you have any other property? He says, yeah, I have this property on in between San Felipe and Westheimer on 610, inside the loop. So I said, okay, let's go there. And he used to manage that with his wife. So I went with him. It was a big, like a good lot, not so good property. Okay, inside the loop. That was back in 2012-13. So we discussed. I had good connections with him, and because I continued the relations and all. So one day when I was there, he showed me how he manages that commercial property and all. And then he said he got an offer that is unbelievable. He probably bought that under $1 million, and he got an offer for $3 million, and he couldn't believe it. So he said, can you help me with some due diligence? I said, yeah. So then he said they are building almost a 42-story building there, and they are offering him to partner with them. And he says, you know, at that time he also told me that, do you want to join with this and we can do something. And I said, 42 stories out of my horizon. No, I said, you continue. I couldn't even believe that he's offering me. But if I knew some of the stuff that I know now, I would have partnered with him. I just couldn't take it. At that time, I didn't even own an apartment, right? So I couldn't, I don't understand what you're saying. So I left it. Now there is a building already. If you go there, there is a building, a tall building that is already out there. When they were constructing, I used to like, oh my God, I had this opportunity. Anyway. Whew. So, you know, you lose a lot of opportunities because you don't know. So get education, guys. Get education. Open up yourself. If you know things, you'll have a lot of opportunities. Bandit signs, you must be seeing a lot of bandit signs. We buy houses that work also. There's a lot of work to it, but there are people who will put it for you for $1 per sign or $2 per sign and things like that. Driving for dollars, local newspaper ads, you can do that. Driving for dollars means you just drive in the area. If you see a vacant house or a grass is growing or something like that, you can buy, you can contact those people. One of the stories that one of my friend did that. He couldn't find the seller. He says, there's a house that is vacant. He couldn't find it. What he did is he took a bandit sign. He put it in the yard saying, house for sale and his number. And in few days, in couple of days, he got a call. Hey, how can you put your sign? This is my house. So he says, oh, thank you for contacting. I was trying to find you. So, are you looking to sell the house? And so he contacted it that way, and he got the contact of the seller. So there are creative ways of doing it. And he might be a wholesaler. He might be selling it for higher price. Once you get the seller, you talk. You know. He's also impressed that that was your marketing strategy. They build rapport, have friendship, and then do a deal. Amazing, right? Bird dogs. Bird dogs meaning, I don't know how the name came. I know the story.
Well, you shoot birds,
yeah.
and the dog goes and gets it.
Right.
That's bird.
That's why they call the dog is called the go get the bird. So similarly, there are people who don't have money, they don't know anything, they need a job. So you tell them, go drive for me. I'm not going to work, right? So go drive for me. If you find any vacant house, tell me the address, tell me what it is. If you do that, and if I buy, I'll pay you $100, $500 per house. And that's what they do. They just drive, or they do whatever. You can even do that with due respect, but again, it says delivery people. Like any people who, your postman basically, you can tell them that if you see some house that is vacant, can you please tell me? I'll go contact them. You might know the owner also and things like that, because they have the list. You can buy the list from there also, by the way. Hairdressers and shoe polish, and I put that on reason because this was amazing. I used to work for Shell at that time in downtown, and there was this shoe polish guy. He was a very nice gentleman. Of course, they talk, right? All the hairdressers also talk, especially in India here, not much, but they do talk. So hairdresser you can get, but the shoe polisher was very nice. He used to be very talkative, and one day I sat with him. I had some meeting or something, so I did that, and he was talking to me, and I couldn't stop. As you can see, I cannot stop talking about real estate. So even I talked to him, and I said, you know, I buy houses, and I'm looking for these funds, and I'm looking to buy apartments, and I'm looking for these people who have this hedge fund managers. You know, I'm trying to do this. So I told him, and he said, hi, I have so many clients who are hedge fund managers. You want the list of them? I'm like, what? Because you're trying to find these fund lenders, but who do they go to? They go to, you know, they always polish their shoe and they talk that, okay, I'm the hedge fund manager. And they don't tell about their business, but he knows those people. So literally he gave me 2-3 contacts. I contacted them. You know, so that is also one way of, it's not about finding deals, but you can find contacts. You never know who can give you a deal or a connection. I just put it there because that's true story. And you're trying to find, where can I get the money? And here is this guy who I never expected could give you the leads. And he also gives references, by the way. I'll tell him, you know, I know him. Anyway. And you can train them. If you see somebody, you let me know next time and all that. Door knocking, door hangers, sign in the yard, like I said, mass media, radio, FSBO. If you are looking to rent, basically, you can put a sign for rent for your own, and also say we buy houses. So people driving will also know that you buy also. So just put up your signs. FSBO is like for sales by owners, there are different websites. FSBO.com is also one, FSBO online, homesbyowners.com, and for commercial it's a little different. Then of course the brokers, I told you 80-20 rule, 20% of the brokers will have 80% of the deals. And of course the clubs like this, you go network, there are a lot of other wholesalers and all that, you can go to the clubs. And hopefully we'll also be able to give you deals. If you're interested, we always have deals. If you're looking to get started, we can give you the deals and you can just start working on it. That is the smartest and easiest way of doing it. Commercial. Now with single family what happens is there are distressed sellers like we talked about. But commercial property owners are not distressed. They are usually people with money. So there are different ways of talking to them. But the best way are like top 3 or even 4 nowadays, all of them. See, I can't believe that I'm adding all of those. I thought in another slide I have a different list, but here. So with the commercial deals, you can also buy a list of all the property owners, including for apartments or other commercial properties, hotel owners, motel owners, shopping centers and all. You can buy the list. You won't find it so easily. So you better pay for those lists. You can get it from Dunhill, Melissa Data, listsource.com. All of these are like melissadata.com, dunhill.com and thelist.com. Then again, the best way of doing it is contact them through a mail or send out a letter, but it has to be a different letter. You can't just say we buy houses, right? You say that I saw your property and I'm interested in meeting with you, take you for lunch, I'm interested in buying the property, looking for properties and things like that. If it is a distressed property, in apartments it's very hard because they are making money. But with commercial properties, there are a lot of properties that are sitting vacant, and if you just even call them with the number, usually those properties will have numbers also. So if you find the address, you can go drive there and you'll find the list also. I mean the numbers also. So it is very easy to get. That's why I have said you can directly text them or call them or even email them. Then usually they work with brokers. They don't want to do it themselves, so go with the brokers. The best way of going with the best brokers, like 80-20 rule, but now how do you get those 20? Go to ccim.com and loopnet.com. You'll find a lot of, not for deals, of course you can find deals, but go find the brokers who have all the lists, all the deals. cmls.com, other broker websites, you can just Google for commercial properties in your area. A lot of people ask me that is it available in Cyprus, it is available in Katy, just look for that, or even Dallas, Austin, whatever. So you can look for commercial property listings in your area. Talk to attorneys, these are very powerful people, they know all these owners. Even if they don't know them directly, they can find the owner for you. So if you find a property, if you can get with the attorney, any attorney should be able to give you, but you need to have relations, build relations. It's a people's business. Again, talk to the probate attorneys, bank settlements, private funding attorneys, and evictions. A lot of times you have to evict the tenants who don't pay. They also, all the commercial owners usually go with and they can go with the management team as well, or company manager, but they also go with the attorneys. If I'm going too slow, just tell me, or if it is too fast also. Tax liens, again, sometimes they don't pay taxes. It is possible, especially if the building is vacant. Doesn't happen in apartments, but other commercial properties. The same thing, you can go through government sites, courthouses, you can get the list of all the properties that are not doing good. So usually, whatever it is, whether it is eviction, probate, bankruptcy, whatever it is, it goes to courthouse. So you go get, and courthouse people are very cooperative. We don't like to go there, whatever, but if you call them and say, I'm looking for a list of all the probates or this and that, they will give you, they might give you a list. If they don't give you, then they'll tell you how to go. Like go to this website, go to that section, and go there and there and there. So they'll literally tell you everything, and they'll even walk you through it, through their website. Again, different auctions.com is one of the big auctions company, then property auctions, national auction list, redc.com. Of course, the commercial property communities. So a lot of associations are there that you can go attend there, and then vendors, HVAC people, plumbers, roofers, they know a lot of these property owners and deals. And then there are different platforms that you can just network with. The people, the property owners usually go through the platforms and different events, try to be there. So there are different ways of doing it. I don't know whether you all will be doing it, I just have to go through it. So, but be coachable. If you know, if I tell you that this is the right, or not I, but anybody tells you, if you learn, just do it, understand it. And if you are thinking about, I don't know whether it will work for me and all that, work with a good team, be very aggressive to learn and implement. That is more important. Learning and knowing is one thing, but doing it is one thing. Have a proper system. Our business model says facts. One thing is that you should know the facts, but F stands for finding it, analyzing it properly, controlling the negotiation or communication, controlling that, and timing it. How much time is needed to buy the property, funding, how much for rehab, things like that. Time it properly. Even the market cycle you need to time properly, and the different strategies. You should know upfront whether you are buying and selling, buying or flipping or whatever. I already told you the story, so I will get into that about how I bought my properties. Let's go. How do you reposition the properties? I don't know, I can't see it. Okay, the Forbes says that there are 1,700 new millionaires made every day, and you want to be one of them. So there are two reasons why the commercial properties fail. Poor management, it can be residential as well, single family, running out of money, and poor management. The different ways of repositioning, like Shri is working on a deal that is 92% occupied. So what will you do there? There are two ways of doing it. Either improve the property, make better, give better amenities and increase the rent, or there might be some tenants that are not doing good, not paying, so you improve the tenants. So you can reposition them also. Some properties are like C or D class properties. You can fix the property, but also you need to fix the tenant, because you fix the property, you increase the rent, so you can increase the net income. But these people are not those people who will pay. So you'll have to get the right people who will pay for it. So you'll have to do that repositioning. And you want to do it anyways because you want to improve the property as well. The sooner you do it, the better it is. So, okay, so I found it. How do I analyze it? Again, I told you there are softwares, there are spreadsheets that are available to do it, and there are companies who will do it for you. Just like David mentioned earlier, who is our one of the lender, where if it is a single family house, they will do all the analysis for you. They'll tell you how much the value is, they'll talk to the appraiser, and they'll do it quick for you. There is one way of doing it, which is smart way, working with the expert, or you do it yourself. You should know it, and we'll make it easier for you. Afternoons are tough, huh? Okay, so once you understand the basic, we talked about this already, I guess. I got overexcited that time, and I talked about this. So, single family houses is based on CMA, which is comparative market analysis. Whatever is happening in the area, dollar per square feet. With the multifamily or any commercial property, it is based on the income. So, the more the income, the higher the value. Basic terminology. When I say income, it's not just the gross income, it is the net income. That means gross income, whatever is the rent you are getting, minus the expenses that you have. And the expenses might be, just for the lease, it might be gross rents minus, the expenses might be anything, but the operating income might be whatever you are receiving minus some of the discounts that you give, or some of the people don't pay, loss to lease and things like that. Plus you have to add other income. That is very important, especially in apartments. You can add so much more other income. You can do vending services, you can do cleaning services, you can do
Trash, laundry.
Yeah, trash, laundry is one of the big things.
Parking space. Parking
And
space.
maybe yeah, parking spaces. It's called reserved parking. You can add maybe you can add or no. You can just. I mean, what I meant was you can add the covered parking and charge extra for that, or just if this is your unit, this is your spot. If you want this, $60 per month. So if their rent is $600, you added another 10% to it by just $60. I mean, for just assigning that. It might be different for different properties. I'm just giving out the examples for you to understand.
Storage.
Yeah, the storage. You can give them. I mean, you all probably know about it. What all different types of amenities they provide. Like just to pick up your trash from your room, they can charge you $10, $20 per month every month and things like that. Just going from 3 quarters for wash it area to 4 or 5 quarters will give you so much more income, and we'll get into that. But understand what it means by other income, and there are many others. You want to say some of those?
It's along the same lines, basically trying to add, value to it, put some nice amenities around the, building. That way, you get better quality tenants and all that. So that increases, the cap rate, which I probably assume you're going to dig into it in the next slides or something.
Yes. So just like, you can add billboards that will pay you. If your property is on the highway, they pay you $10,000 a month for just putting a billboard. There's a lot of other ways, and I think I cover it in there. And then the expenses, everything you spend on it, taxes, insurance, your HR, and things like that. So this is one of the spreadsheet slide that I have. This will just tell you about what is the property name, number of units, purchase price. It will automatically calculate for you. What is the price per unit, rentable square feet total, what are you paying for it, price per square feet. There are one way of doing it, like whether it is price per square feet or price per unit, and what is the asking price. It will also calculate if you do 91%, if you do strike price. There are different ways. This is just my spreadsheet or the spreadsheet that we use, but then it will calculate different income for you. What is your income, what the seller says, what is he collecting, and what is the physical vacancy you think that it might be 10%, 5%, in his case it is 8%, so you can calculate. So here it is 6% for vacancy, concessions and non-payments is 3%, or you can do it by dollar per unit. There are different ways. Again, it's a spreadsheet, you just plug in the numbers, it will calculate for you. You can also put actuals in sellers, and you can put your pro forma, what you can do. And there are many more other slides like this, but then it also covers different expenses. Other income can be added also, and taxes, insurance, what are the repairs and maintenance. Some of the expenses are fixed expenses, like taxes, insurance are fixed usually. Repairs and maintenance can be different. General admin, like your stationery and things like that, or general other phone, internet. What is the marketing? What are the utilities? Contract services, payroll. Contract services can be included all in, like how much you pay for landscaping, how much you pay for make ready and things like that. So all that can be done based on the seller, and you may not know. I mean, it is pretty common sense, and you'll know that once you start getting into it. But this is how we do it, and then the spreadsheet will calculate. There are softwares also that will calculate. So what is the gross income minus the expenses? 231 minus this is almost 113,000. So if it is 113,000 net income, so 10 times that is around $1.1 million is what you would probably pay for the property, if it is 10% cap. I just want to see if there is cap rate. Maybe I didn't include it in this, but the cap. If you pay cash for it, let's say you paid 1.1, let's say it is 100,000, and you paid $1 million for it. If you pay all cash, then the net income will be 100,000. That means you invested $1 million and you are going to make 10%, like $100,000 every year on it. You understand? So if you are going to make 10% on the property, it is called 10 cap. So if you are going to make 8% on $1 million property, if you are making $80,000, then it is called 8 cap. That is, what is your net operating income divided by what is the purchase price or acquisition cost, or whatever is the value of the property. So that is called cap rate, and it changes based on different locations, different areas, different properties. If it is A-class property, because it will be there for 30-40 years, so it might be 5 cap, 6 cap. In California it is 4 cap, but the appreciation is so high. What it means is, even if the property makes $40,000, you will pay $1 million for it. You understand? But here you can buy properties at 10 cap, not anymore, not apartments, but am I right? So not anymore. 10 cap is almost 8 also is not available these days.
6 if you're
6
lucky.
and 7, yeah, 6 and 7. That means even if it makes 6% returns on my money, that's good, because now you will do some magic, and we'll get into that. You'll do some magic. You'll increase this to go to, you know, another 10% maybe. Even if you go another 25,000 more, what will happen is you'll double your money, and I'll get into that. But understand the concept. So if you'll double your investment value, not the whole 1 million, but if you leverage it. So I'll get into that. Let's not get confused. This is very important, guys. You know, pay attention and ask questions if you want to, because this is the whole gist of it. So this is the net income, but this is the gross income. If you increase this by 10%, you can double your money. And I'll get into that. For example, let's say, yeah, we are buying it. This one is that we are buying it at $1 million. You are putting 25% down. It will calculate all the mortgage info also for you. It will calculate what is the market rent. So if you are putting 25% down on $1 million property, that means you are putting $250,000 down. You are getting a mortgage of $750,000 at say 4.5% at 25 years amortization. Your debt service based on that will be $50,000 per year. That means you are paying $4,000-ish per month on your mortgage for $750,000 mortgage at 4.5%. Okay, so your debt service is the money that you pay the bank every year. So that's one of the key numbers.
Is that 25 years or 250 years?
25 years.
And
Yeah, this is, it says, but
250 months.
no, it's 25 years.
25.
Amortization terms is
Interest only or something.
Upside down.
might be 2.5 probably, whatever. But 25 years amortization is, these are the numbers it calculates. And the closing cost will be 3%, let's say on $1 million is 30,000. Loan point is this, and acquisition fee. I like this. So what it means is, I buy this property, I found this property, and I'm buying it at 1 million. I did all the analysis, I have it under contract. I need down payment for $250,000. So I'm going to say, hey guys, are you interested? I have this deal. I need 25% down, which means I need $250,000. I'm going to buy it at 1 million. I'm going to increase this income by, let's say, 10%, for example. And then eventually this property will be worth 1.3, 1.5, whatever. I'm just keeping it simple. So if we make that $500,000 profit, I will give you 70% of the profit in that. But for that, I will charge 3% acquisition fee for me. So, for doing all of this, okay, the closing cost and all. So what I'm trying to say is, when you are doing a deal and when you do this analysis, when you learn about it, you can make $30,000, and it may not take you so much time then you think if it is $1 million deal, and especially commercial and all that, you can get $2 million deal. There are so many of them available. You might need $500,000 to raise. You go to one or two people, they might give you all the $500,000. In this case, there was just one guy. I mean, I used to go to everybody, hey, 25,000 at least, put on this, I'll give you 20-30% returns at least, and this, you know, all that kind of, I used to pitch that way because I knew it was a great deal. But then I met one doctor and he says, you know what, I've been in so many deals, but I don't want to be dealing with other people. It's just you and me. I'll give you all 250 or 300 that you need. I'll write you a check, but I don't want to deal with other partners, just you and me. I'm like, well, I'm looking for 250, and he said, I'll give you 300. So one person. So, you know, you need one person. Anyway, so acquisition fee is what you make. And you can charge from 1 to 5%, it depends on the deal. If the deal is good, you can afford to pay yourself more. So there are ways of making money for yourself also for doing this.
Investors.
What?
No, whom you are
To the investor, to the buyer.
No. Okay.
People
So,
who are investing.
so what happens is, here it doesn't say that, but let's say your total acquisition cost is 350. Does it say that here? Yeah. So the total closing cost, and then we have some other reserves and things like that. So maybe you are raising 350,000 for this one. Yeah, so you will be raising money from like if you have yourself, you put it in the system. If you don't have it, get it from other people, and you can be 20-30% owner, and they can be 70%. Do you understand this concept? Any questions on this?
What's loan points?
Ready for interest.
Loan points?
Upfront cost.
Yeah, this is, you remember that the lenders, they give you the money, but they want their fees, administrative fees. And
Charge you.
A one-time fee?
yeah, it's to get the loan from the lender. So,
What is the advantage basically? Like $1 million, if people want to put in stock, so rather than putting into here.
You're not investing $1 million.
yes, the advantage is you are buying a $1 million property for $250,000 or $350,000 out of your pocket. But the bank will lend you $750,000. So this all may not be your cost, depending on nowadays it's different, 30%, 20%, depending on your credit also. So the leverage that you get, the advantage, good question, Mara. So let's say your acquisition cost is $350,000. That means you are going to put all $350,000 into from your team, or let's say yourself or whatever. Now it says 10% increase in the gross income can give you 100% gain on the equity, because usually the expenses, whatever are the taxes, insurance, repairs, management costs, based on that might go a little bit up, but marketing and all that, most of the expenses will be same if you can increase the gross income. Let's say you take over the property and you increase the rents by $50. You just go new management, rents are going up $50. It happens to a lot of apartments. So if you do that, you add 25,000 almost, like if you add 25,000 to your net income, you can either reduce expenses, increase more and things like over the period of time. But if your net income goes up by 25,000, so this will be almost 1.4 million. So just by adding $25,000 increase in your this thing for the whole year value. So you can make the property go up in value for like 1.4 million. If at that same cap rate, 10 cap rate, if you sell it, that means you are selling it for 1.4. With all the selling commission and all that, let's say you net $300,000. So if you are putting 250 or 350 down and selling it at 1.3 after a year, that down payment of 350, your investment almost became 650 or 700. Are you getting it? Even if it takes 2 years, you double your money. You can do it in 6 months if you know what you are doing, if you have the right opportunity. For example, if this property is vacant, like if it is 80% occupied, all you need to do is rent 8 properties, 8 units. If it is 40 units, you 20% is 8 units. You rent 8 units at $600, it's like $5,000 a month, which is $60,000 a year. You added 10% to it, or 20% actually, but 10% to the gross, that means the property went up in value. I gave you one example of shopping center where there are, again, you buy, how can you buy an apartment that is 75%, almost it doesn't exist, but you can buy a shopping center and make it go from 75 to 100%, 1 or 2 tenants. You increase the value of the property because you lease the property, and you increase the value and you double your money. You can flip that apartment or a commercial property. I'm repeating myself, but I want to make sure you understand this.
Yogesh, in the previous slide, that annual debt service is 50,000, right? So now we have net operating income is after the debt service or before the debt service?
Before the debt service.
So then that 10% cap rate is like 5%.
No. Net operating income divided by the purchase price is called cap rate. It's not after the, because you are paying cash. If you are paying cash,
If this is a cash deal.
yeah, this, I got this later. This doesn't exist if you pay cash.
All 1 million down.
All 1 million down, you get 10% return.
Okay.
Okay. So let's good question. So let's say you put 350,000 down, and you are making 115 minus 50 is 65,000. Right? Who has the calculator? Can you please calculate 65,000 divided by 350,000? That is your returns.
Cash on cash.
Cash on cash return. Can we do it? Somebody?
65 by 350?
350 or
350.
18.5, yeah.
Yes.
18,
So that is your
19%.
cash on cash. So you buy this, so from 10% you went to 18% because you leveraged.
So that's a good deal.
Yeah. I mean, it is good deal at 10% also. But point is, the advantage of leveraging, because now you are investing less, so your returns are, percentage wise, your returns go up. This is every year. Plus when you sell it at 1.4 or 1.5, I sold it for 1.6. So you know, you get that extra 400,000, which almost doubles it, plus 18% for next whatever 2 years. So your returns in commercial deals or that's why apartments are so hot. And it's easy to lease, it's easy, because people who know about single family, they know about apartments, how to fix it, just carpet paint, things like that, right? So that's how people make money. And the investors also make money. So what happens is investors get that 18% returns too. It may not be 18 because it might,
70%.
split, 70% of that 18. So, but still it is better than 1 or 2%. But then they take risk and they do, but if you are working with the right people, you can get that kind of returns. And so that's why people offer for 3 years, they give you. So if you invest in the deal, you can get that. But if you don't want to wait until I find a deal and all that, so that's why there are other options that I gave earlier, that you'll start getting paid immediately at 8%. Now, if I borrow at 8% from somebody and use it as my down payment, and I give you 8, I can keep the rest of the profit. So if it goes down, you're not at risk. So that's how with my SFI funding fund, I give out 8% and I make 18%, or in this case, but it might be 15% or so, or 12%, doesn't matter. I make 12, I give out 8. But if they participate in the deal, the day I buy that, that's when they start getting paid. And if it goes down some month, then you share that also. If it goes up, you share that also. But usually it's very easy to take it from $1 to $1.5 million. And imagine now, he just bought 11 million, so it's similar thing, right? You bought it for 10, you go to 15, 11, you go to 15, you made $3 million. So here I made 500,000, there it will be 3-4 million. So the absolute value is bigger, it gets better. Good? This is just analysis part. Okay, the smart and easy way, we'll make it easy. It might sound, because probably you are hearing it for the first time, seeing it for the first time. So, let's say the value goes to 1.4 or 1.5. Now you go to the bank again, and you don't even have to sell it. You go and refinance the property, because the banks will give you 80% of the stabilized property. So you go to the bank and say that the property is worth 1.5 or 15 million. I need 80% of that, which is 12 million or 1.2 million. So now my initial loan was 750 and my investment was 350, which takes it to $1.1 million investment. But after I do this magic, increase the rent or whatever, then the bank will give me $1.2 million in the loan. That means all my 350 is back. I give it back to the investors. So investors get it back in maybe 12 months or 18 months, and now they're like, okay. Plus, that the money that they get back is tax-free, because it is just the loan.
Return of investment.
Yeah, return of your investment, plus it is still a mortgage. So you invested, you still own the property, and you got your money back. You can do it again. You buy another property, another property, another property, you can do it over and over and over again.
So I guess your strike rate would already be low enough to account for that acquisition cost, right? So now to increase that 10% that you're talking about be much more difficult, right?
See, what I do when I go to the bank, this is different spreadsheet, but when I go to the bank, I say 1 million is the asking price, plus I have this other cost, so the total acquisition is 1.3, and on that I put down 25%. It's just a way of trying to reduce your actual investment to go in. The goal is put less money in and make more money. That way your returns are higher. Don't get into this. Understand that there is a way to add the value to the property and kind of double your money, or at least get good returns on your money. And that's what we do, or people do, and add value to the property and make money for yourself. If I invested 350 and made 350 or 300 tax free, that's another thing. And then you keep doing it again and continue. Then after that, you are just making the money on regular cash and cash. And then it says rinse and repeat. Go buy another property, and we'll share with you these deals and the softwares. And on that, I missed that point on finding the property and analyzing the property, or on single family. There is a software called Real Acquisitions. It's called realacquisitions.com. He's a friend of mine. He has everything. Like, he'll give you all the leads. He will give you all the letters, and he will do the marketing also for you, and he'll also do the analysis. They charge, I think, $80, $83, $85 a month. It's like almost $1,000.
The first 14 days it's free, and then after that.
Okay, so we'll get into the next one, how to find the funding. But this is the key to many commercial and residential property, on how to find it and how to analyze it. Any questions on this? We had good discussion, so. Are we good? You want to take a break and come for funding and thing, or you want to continue? Let's take a 5-minute break. Yeah, but there are some. Yes, this is just I didn't cover the initial introduction of it. This is just because there are a few new people, and then after that I'll go into just it will be similar thing, but or I'll just do something. Depends on the crowd. Some people it's more spiritual. Yeah, let's do it. No, please do it. I'll also get a break. So. Yeah, just do it now.
It's mostly the random things, like whatever I gather, so it might be useful for
Yes, yes, please. Let's do it now.
जास्त निघत होते
Yeah, असं बाकीचं काय एवढं
पाच सहा स्लाईड दाखवतो बोलली
तेच ऐकून घे, तेच ऐकून घे.
पण आज स्किप यू वन ऑन वन आणि बोलतो इतके दिवस पण काही नाही. पण आता कोरियामध्ये
Seriously?
final push.
Welcome guys. Just coming in now.
Oh, yes.
तुमचा पाच सहा स्लाईड दाखवते मग.
You were so you were on Friday call?
Yeah.
So you are not missing much right now. There will be some there will be some other things that will be coming.
तू already चालू केलीस का?
There's other investor who's going to present some slides.
Okay.
नाही नाही नाही
Yeah,
If you started looking into property,
Yeah, that was a short notice.
can you use that?
No, actually, I'm doing a cancel charge.
I live in a large corridor.
So you covered you also work. And me and my wife.
Oh.
It's also yes. Ever since fabric.
Yeah. Afternoon, right?
Yeah. Instead of
अरे याची कॉफी आहे का?
spending all your income on the house.
Your Starbucks.
House itself is not an asset.
So,
It's
what's the problem?
land is an asset. The land, your
पाणी आहे?
appreciation values.
पाणी पण वापर होतं.
सांग ना. Profit
So,
माझा सगळं सेविंग याच्यात असं नाही टाकलं आणि पर मंथ just putting in all the money right now I'm picking the rent. So I'm kind
Invest the
of
starting part.
standard, right? So instead
That's so
the apartment this. But I have like this one. Instead of just locking it down,
Yeah.
maybe in my future I'll get money. So
check
that's
it out
what
and people will go in
back out
No,
of
I
that.
think
तर तुमचं स्वतःचं हे असेल तर.
ते विचार चालू आहे.
मी बोलताय योगेश तुझ्याशी
हो,
पण
चालेल.
काहीतरी
actually working for investors.
पण आता नुसतं मी ऐकण्यापेक्षा आय थिंक बेटर टू
Just right now.
आता पटकन त्याचं संपेल का पाच सहा स्लाइड्स का त्याला वेळ लागेल अजून?
ते झालंच आहे का आता सी आय कवर्ड मोस्ट ऑफ
Yeah.
इट बाकी मग काय फाइंडिंग झालं
पण याच्यामध्ये तू आता
मला
कशी
टाइम
लोकांना
कळत नाही
help करणार?
3:30 झालेत
काय नाही,
ना
याच्यामध्ये
फिनिश
तू आता कसं लोकांना हेल्प करणार म्हणजे समजा आता इफ आय कम्प्लीट
व्हॉट आय एम ऑफरिंग आय शुड टेल दॅट नाउ
दॅट इज समथिंग यू शुड फोकस ऑन
if you are interested there is a program that I'm offering for with आधी 3 आणि 5 आणि 10 चा चार्ज करणार होतो but because I want to make it no brainer I'm offering it at $997 so $1,000 मध्ये you can get started and help you initially थोडेफार लोक असतील तर give them the deal directly start doing it just listen if you trust and implement
आपण तू अगदी हेल्प करशील पण त्यांच्यामध्ये
डीलच आणून दिले तिथंच हेल्प झाली ना बाकी अनालिसिस वगैरे काय एकदा अनालिसिस करायचं असतं यू हॅव टू ऍक्च्युअली
नाही
डू
कारण काय माहिती आहे का म्हणजे somebody like me मी नॉर्मल्स म्हणजे आम्ही putting myself त्याच्या दुसरा पण माणूस समजून 10 वर्ष विचार करतो नाही झाले
मग तेच मी करतोय तसं मी 5 पण चार्ज करू शकतो
हां तर म्हणजे
1000 मध्ये ऍटलीस्ट गेट स्टार्टेड आणि मे बी टू बी ऑनेस्ट आय शुड चार्ज लाईक 3 to 5 सो ऍक्च्युअली आय कॅन पुट हे
पर्सेंट
नाही $3,000 चार्ज करायला पाहिजे मी खरं तर बट जास्त लोक नाही तर मग $1,000 मध्ये पटकन इंटरेस्टेड आय गिव्ह द डील गेट स्टार्टेड आय गिव्ह यू द ऑफकोर्स आता तुम्हाला तर माहितीच आहे फायनल देतो प्लस आय गिव्ह यू द कॉन्ट्रॅक्टर ऑल्सो गेट स्टार्टेड डू अ डील दॅट इज डू 10-20 पाटील बिल्डर्स
मी तर ना विचारलं ना म्हणजे काय नव्हतं.
मग काय तेव्हाच होतं ना फ्लडिंगच्या वेळेला होतो
त्याला तू म्हणाला हे कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट
हा मग ती वेबसाईट वगैरे क्लिक करून 2 वर्ष झाले पण आता काय मी कधी मार्केटिंग करत नाही मी काय बाबा. सापडली वेबसाईट पाटील बिल्डर्स घेऊन ठेवलेली होती आणि बनवून ठेवली होती पण
नुसतं
हां.
वेबसाईट करतो
हां पण करतो आपण त्याच्यावर
त्याच्यामध्ये काय तुझे कॉन्ट्रॅक्टर्स
हां.
नवीन हेल्प
हां मी सब कॉन्ट्रॅक्टिंग करतोय सध्या पण आय विल हेल्प यू यू कॅन आय एम नॉट लुकिंग टू मेक मनी आउट जस्ट हा आहे तो आहे तुमचं तुम्ही बघा किंवा कोणी पण यूज करा, मला काय, पण हे काम करून घ्या हे मला सांगायचं नाही.
I think you should, मला तरी असं वाटतं की you should talk about that.
हां,
काय exactly
मला टाइम
आता
कळत नाही.
तू नाही आता तू आहे ना हे बाकीचं हे
खूप झालं आणि झालंय आता बाकीचं काय.
I don't think people would want to know how you are going to help exactly. तू सांग की तुम्ही मला हे करा, मला अप्रोच करा. तर ही माझी साधारण we'll talk about things, but only it will be to start with me. First काय 10-15 म्हणजे कोण येतील त्यांना मी असं हे करेन आणि I'll guide you. ओके, मी मीटिंग आणून मी तुम्हाला हे करायला हेल्प करेन, मी करेन आणि
तसंच करतो मी.
आय थिंक यू शुड डू दॅट. असं मला
लोक 4ला जाणारे
हो.
बरेच.
आणि मी पण आता निघते आता परत तो 4 तास होणार म्हणून मी थांबले. I mean, if something, if you can talk, how you are going to, म्हणजे आता मी तुला नेटवर्किंग की मी आता ह्याला भेटले, आम्हाला भेटला, 2-4 लोक भेटले, पण ऑफकोर्स आय एम नॉट गोइंग टू, दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू ट्रस्ट मी, आय एम नॉट गोइंग टू ट्रस्ट देम, दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू ट्रस्ट मी. सो की आम्ही काय डायरेक्टली काय म्हणणार नाही की म्हणजे अर्थात त्याच्यावर काही इम्पॉर्टंट डायनॅमिक असेल तर गोष्ट वेगळी आहे, पण somebody like me, I'm not going to say, okay, माझे पैसे
तू पण म्हण रे.
यंग डायनॅमिक मी त्याला बोलते, I'm old dynamic.
त्यांना माहिती नाही.
नाही तर मी तुला सांगू, तुला माझा पॉईंट लक्षात आला,
ओके,
तुला माझा पॉईंट लक्षात आला
हो,
की you nailed down like how exactly you are going to show it. You come to me, I'm going to do